Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is Dee Dee with Power of Three Trading. I'm not here just to teach you the strat, but to teach you how to profit from the market using the strat techniques. If you have more questions regarding strat, please reach out to my guy, Rob Smith, at Smith's in the Black channel, Rob in the Black on Twitter, or at sepiagroup.com. So we've been talking about this broader market and trying to get a feel for price action, where the market wants to go. We saw this reversal on the month back in July with the 2-2 continuation here in August. We have just a few more days left in the month to trade, but you can see here, it's hard to see, but price took out this level here on the monthly. We're looking at the Qs here and then reversed, right? So we had this gap down. I was looking for price to continue to try to take out this range here on that 3-day around 311, 312. Price traded down to 312.99, did not continue. Today we have Fed speak at the Jackson Hole, so not sure what's going to happen today, so we're going to use caution as always. But today is our 2-3-day flip. I'm always looking for these small body candles before these flips, and looks like price may want to reverse here, guys. So we'll have to be careful not to get kind of caught in this range until Fed speak. But we're going to keep our levels here. So if price continue, you had this gapper now, so it's got to take this gap. High here is 318.74. So let's see if I just drew something like that. It's got to take this range out. So I'd be looking at a target around 318.70. See if it takes this guy out, and then it has to take this gap. But if price trades inside this range, which obviously, guys, again, this is our 3-day. So if it trades inside this range, may get a little choppy. So we want it to break above 318.74, which is the high of this 3-day candle. Okay. Let's look at the SPY real quick, and then we'll go down to the shorter time frames. Again, same thing here. All right. Price has got to take the high of this 3-day candle. We have our 3-day flip. Let's see what happens, but we had this gapper here on this 3-day open. All right, so if it takes this high, then we have maybe another level of resistance here, target about 419.50, right in that range, if price continues to trade above this 3-day high, which is 417.23. All right, so again, I'm looking for, if price trades inside this 3-day range, yeah, just going to use some caution, may not trade a lot, or just manage your risk by position sizing. Okay, again, we're in a tough, congested market now, not sure which way it wants to go, so we're going to reduce our risk by reducing our position sizing on these trades. Okay, IWM created an outside day. Again, guys, looks like it wants to trade above in this 2-day. Today is our 2 and 3-day flip, so I'd be looking for it to go 2 up on this 3-day range, which is yesterday's high. And if it looks like it wants to do that right now, but again, it's an outside day, so I'd be careful if it price hits around 193.80 and reverse. But again, with Fed speak later today, you could see the market trade up and then back down based on the message. We don't know yet. So not looking to jump into this open, and I certainly may not do anything until the afternoon. All right, let's look at kind of our 45-minute view on signals. All right, since we're not drawing our broadening formations, we've been looking at opportunities to trade reversals off of the average daily range. And so we can see here, just again, zooming out, looking for our signals, which are inside bars and 2 2s. where we had some opportunities. On the Qs, so we'll just start here with the Qs. You had a price opened 2 down, then it traded 2 up. That's a signal, guys. You could have taken that up. It went back into the buy zone at the 90-minute flip. All right, there was an opportunity here. We'll see how we could have gotten into that. Again, right here on the SPY, it went 2 down, 2 up. There are signals here that we could have taken, went back above the buy zone at the open. SMH, inside bar, 2 up. Didn't quite cross over, but there's still a signal here. You could have taken that. NVIDIA, 2 down, 2 up. Again, cross back into the buy zone at the 11 o'clock flip. Tesla traded up at the 45. Again, we're looking at reversal signals. We got it here, right here, guys, off of the ADR. So this is our high ADR on Tesla. It crossed above it. Wait for it, went inside, stayed inside, stayed inside. Here's our cross below. So remember, we're looking to trade those reversals off that high or low ADR. And we'll talk about those on the other charts in a minute, but we didn't get the initial trade to the upside here. CRM, you would have had gone to a lower time frame, but you can see it went 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, continuation. It actually reported yesterday, and you can see the results of that. So we'll talk about it. But you didn't get your signal here in the 45. You didn't get a 2 down, 2 up, but you got it probably on the lower time frame. Microsoft was did not give us much, traded in a tight range. It went 2 down, then went outside, then 2 up. Still in the sell zone, didn't give us much of a trade. You had a 2 down here. IWM, outside, 2 up, didn't get much of a signal on the 45. You would have had to gone again, but it crossed above 100 here. You would have had to gone to a lower time frame to see where you can get an entry. So when you have two continuation patterns, you often need to go to a shorter time frame to get in. And then we'll talk about the reversals here. All right, so let's first talk about those entries to the upside. All right, let's go to our QQQ on the shorter time frame. So yesterday I was not on record. Let me just remove these lines here. Got on a little late, so I wasn't prepared, so we didn't record yesterday. But here's our open, right? We had a 2 down here on the Qs, and it went 2 up at the 45-minute flip. Did we have a signal? Now this is the 9-minute, guys. It does line up with the 45. We had an inside bar. There was a signal here. You could have taken that and just held it, right? Using the opening here, because if it had turned back red on that 45, be an indication that maybe price action isn't going to hold. So I'd use this, goes 2 up, right? 2 up, inside bar. You could have taken that there after that flip and use the low of this candle, because this could have turned into a 1, 2, 2, 1, 2 up, 2 down rev strat. We don't know, but it held, right? All right, so this was that opening 45. It held, could have made some money off of this, even though you had your TTO here. Remember, guys, we're in the 45 now, so we may take on a little bit more risk, but you can manage that through position sizing. So we're holding on to this because this is our 2-2. It goes 2 up, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up on that 45. We don't want to get stuck inside 45, so we want it to go 2 up. What's the next 2? But we're going to hold it at that opening range, right? So this open in 9 minutes, and say if it turns back against us, we would get out. In this case, we would have made some money. All right, you had another opportunity here after the 90-minute flip, which was here. You had an outside bar, inside bar, 2 up, your 90-minute flip, 2 up continuation, price crossed above your above your 100 on the 9-minute, and barely right here, it started to cross over here on the 45. Okay, you always want to ask yourself, is CCI helping to move? Does it give me any confidence that price is going to go to in the next if you're using a 45, but it doesn't matter which time frame you're using, guys. But you have to be looking at what's the next two. So if you're on a 30-minute, it would be the next two, and maybe you're using the 5 or the 10 or the 15. But you're always looking for, if I get a signal here, what's the probability this is going to continue in the direction? We're not making money if you're stuck inside a 90 or a 45 or a 30 for that matter, or 60. All right. So we're looking to see, does momentum look to be on our side to move this market higher? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's starting to reverse. We'll talk about it. Let's look at SPY real quick because it's very similar. Same scenario. You had a 2 down, 2 up. Remember, guys, you're still inside day here. This is why we have to take risk off. We don't know whether or not price action is going to go. So we don't put on a lot of risk on these trades. Again, here, does it go 2 up, 2 back down against us? I think it does. Triangles you out for 1246. It takes you out right here, goes inside. Risk management still goes up. 90-minute flip right here. This is your 90 flip. Inside, you have another signal. You can get back in here. You can get back in. But we shouldn't be taking on a whole lot of risk on these trades. We get in right here off that inside bar. This is your 45 flip. You get in right here. 411.97. You got TTO'd at 412.46. Was that 49 cents? On the SPY. Not terrible, not the best, but not terrible. But then you make it up, right? But you have to have the leverage to do that, okay? But we don't want to hold on to these trades forever. IWM, a little different. At the 45-minute flip, guys, here we are. We're on an outside bar. We don't know in this case if price is going to continue. Threes in and of themselves are broadening formations. Of course, we could have drawn that. We didn't. You're at the high of your ADR. I'm probably in your, when you have an outside bar on a 90 or 60, you have to believe that you're getting at some level of exhaustion. I probably wouldn't have taken that 45, that 3-2, because I'm expecting maybe a potential 3-2 to the downside. So I wouldn't have taken that trade here just because it had already gone outside on that 45. But here's your 90 flip right here. Maybe there was an opportunity to try to grab a little of this inside 9-minute right before that 90 flip. A little tricky there. Probably wouldn't have taken that trade. Okay, so now let's go back and review here. We had these reversals that set up. I'll look at Tesla and NVIDIA on these reversals. But we had these reversals that set up. Here's your 90, I'm sorry, your 90-minute flip right here. So remember, 45, 2 candles in the 90. You had the 2 down, 2 up, 2 up. It started to reverse in that last 45 minutes of this 11 Eastern time, 11 a.m. flip on that 90. So that last 45 of this 90-minute flip, right, it starts to come in. These are great reversal signals. When you see a 45-minute go 2 up, close down, that's setting up a shooter here, great reversal signal. 12:30, we saw those reversals. And if you can just follow my crosshairs, you see them across the board. CRM did not give you so much. Look at your CCIs, guys. Look at your CCIs. This is CRM CCI. Right? And this is the SPY CCI. They look a lot different. This guy had had traded a little small gapper, but it traded up and stayed above plus 100, stayed above plus 100. This is what SPY looked like. It barely got there. Look at Q's cross back down. NVIDIA never got above 100. It barely got above zero. NVIDIA cross back over. Tesla cross back over. So I want you to understand what I mean when I say, hey, I like to see those crosses on those reversals, but you got to zoom out. If you're stuck in these shorter time frames, you may miss it, right? Because you're battling on a shorter time frame. Just be patient. Wait for it to set up and go boom. Okay? Take those moves right there. Let's take a look at that. Here was SPY. You had your 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 up. So we took this up, and now what do you see happening here? Market's starting to top out. When you start seeing outside bars, inside bars, top of a range, CCI starts to trend lower, you're probably topping out in that trade. So be very cautious of those inside bars at the top of a range. Let price action come back in because you need range on these moves. So you got this inside right here. You had a little range here at 11:45 that took it up, right? This was the 45-minute flip. So you had a little bit of range. A little move here, not much range. Let's draw our broadening formation here. All right, so this is your target, right? You're inside, 2 up, so 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, inside. This becomes your target. As soon as price comes back inside this range, you have to exit that position if you had taken this off this inside bar, 11:45 flip. Then this is why I said broadening formations have not gone away from me, guys. I've just not been teaching it because it's just so difficult. It really does take practice. So we've tried to simplify our program by saying, let's short off the high ADR and let's go long off of a long ADR on those 90-minute flips. And so you can see 12:30, 90-minute flip, we got our move here, right? This is our move. Went 2 up, 2 up, doji, closed down, 90 flip, we got our move, okay? Same thing here with the Qs. You have to understand your ranges. You went 2 down, this becomes your triangle, right? So now you have this outside bar here. Don't have much of a, excuse me, much of a triangle, right? So you can draw that here and say, okay, if price trades up here, that's going to be our target. It didn't get there. The other way is, what's the next highest high, right? Here. Here's how I see it. This is your outside bar, right? Draw that back to the next highest outside bar in that range. And you say, okay, price goes 2 up. It's got to hold this, guys. It's got to hold this. Continue to trades up. You can see it trading around this bar. It never gets up to that higher high. Creates an outside bar. This now becomes another broadening formation. It comes back inside this range. But again, if you don't understand broadening formations, no problem. Wait for that 90-minute flip. Price trades 2 up. So we don't want to take this guy. This is your 45-minute flip. It starts as, if you had taken this, 3, 2, 2, if you had taken this, it comes back inside, right? Even if you just drawn a horizontal line on this outside bar, it comes back inside this range, guys. You have to be thinking exit. If you had taken this position, you have to be thinking exit because now it's coming back inside your range here. Back inside this 9-minute range. 45-minute flip. It closes down here, right? Goes up, turns back red, because this is your open 45. This is your open 45. It turns back red here. You have to be exiting these positions, okay? Then you have your 90 flip, and you take that trade. 2 up, 2 up, 2 down. Hold that position. If it does not, let me get, is it, yeah, that's the open. If it does not take your open, guys, so you're taking this 2 down here, if it does not trade back above this range, because remember, it's a 2 up shooter. So for this to continue, it has to trade above this 45-minute high. So my stop loss would be that open. Give me any indication. Once it goes 2 down, so once it goes, it has to go 2 down first, okay? So this goes 2 down right here. My stop is going to be the high of that, because I do not want this coming back inside and reversing. So this is my open. I'm entering on that 2 down candle, right? So this is our low here. I'm entering right here at that 2 up, 2 down on that 45. This is the low of that 45. Once it goes 2 down, if price comes back up above that opening range, I'd be exiting that position. It does not, you make some money to the downside. So we had a move to the upside, a move to the downside. Let's take a look at Tesla. All right, Tesla didn't give us much on the open, right? It went 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. To get into this trade, you would have had to go down to, and we'll just flip over to a 3-minute using the strat techniques to see if there's an opportunity. There really wasn't. You had an outside bar here. You can see there was a triangle here based on the chart pattern, but that was on the 1-minute chart. I don't trade those. But you could have had an opportunity when you see this cross back over, you go outside and you say, okay, this has got to continue. Didn't really get your signal here. That happens, guys. I figured Tesla would trade up. Why? Because they were pumping this thing up right before the split, which happened today. We'll talk about it. And so you didn't really get a signal until you got the reversal. All right. So it traded 2 up. So if you're on the 45-minute and you're waiting for your opportunity, you had this at the 45-minute flip. It went 2 up. But guess what? It did not create a new high. So here's my point. When you're trading on these longer time frames, or really any time frame, you have to get your 2 up. You do not want to be stuck inside this range. And the way I look at it, this would have been tough, but it would have been an inside bar. It would have had to go 2 up. So if you had taken that right there, it failed and comes right back in. Again, here's your opening range. I'm going to put that right here, right? And it came right back, open right there. That's closed. All right. So if you had taken this position right here off this inside bar, and then it failed to go 2 up, right? Because again, we don't want to be trading inside 45, inside 60, inside 90. So if you've taken that here, it failed. So this is your inside bar. It goes up, comes back inside, and then goes 2 down, turns your 45 red, you're exiting this position. We're not going to hold on to this. We don't know how far, how much lower this is going to go. It took your opening, right? So this is your 45 open. It actually never went 2 up. It takes your 45 open. It goes red. You have to exit that position. We're not going to stay here. All right. And now you're just inside. We're not trading in here. This is a no trade zone. Once it did this, now we're waiting for our next 2. It has to cross below the lows or highs of one of these ranges. And again, you're now inside 90. That's a no trade zone. 45-minute flip, this is where you got your signal. Now here is the move, okay? Your 45-minute flip, I'm just move this line here. This is the low. You want this to go 2 down. You're looking for your signal. You get a 45-minute flip right here. It goes 3, 2 down. You really do not have a signal here. So you're going to take this 2 down candle here, right at 12:39 Eastern, is when it crossed below. Again, our strategy hasn't changed. If you're taking this off this 2 down candle, so it goes 2 down right here because you don't have an inside bar. So you're 2 down, 2 down, 2 down. So you're using your inside bar off the 45 as your signal. Same strategy. This is the candle in which you took your entry. Price comes back in on you, guys. We're exiting that trade because we didn't have an inside bar or a 2 up, 2 down on the 9-minute or shorter time frame. May have been one on the 6 or the 3. You're using your 45 here, but this is the candle you entered it on. So I don't want to hold it to here. Let me delete these lines. I don't want to hold it to this 45 open here. This is Tesla especially. I don't want to hold it here because I entered it here. So I'm going to use this opening range as my target. I mean, that's my stop loss because it went 2 down in this range. If it goes goes back against me, guys, I don't like the trade. I'm just going to exit that position because it needs to stay below this low. Okay, it needs to stay below this 45. It starts creeping back in on you. There's a likelihood that this price may not continue. And you can see it here. It probably traded up some. Again, this is 9 minutes, but you see in the next candle, it stayed down. You could have made some money there. And then you have this TTO going on. I'm out, I'm in, TTO, out, in, TTO. Or you could have just held it. Depending on your position size, you could have held it, but there was no reversal against you here. We're trading this to the downside. NVIDIA, same thing. All right, you had your opportunity on the upside. All right, a little difficult on that 45-minute flip, but you could have held that. I would have waited probably till it crossed over here. All right, because I don't like this 2 down. It's still into my sell zone. But on that 90 flip, because again, 2 down on the 90, goes 2 up right here. I like this. This is a better trade. Now I got these guys all in the buy zone. Take that up. But on the downside, remember, here, you're inside this ADR range, guys. It didn't trade down to the low ADR. So we're trading these reversals off these ADRs with the move back. We actually had a move right here, technically, a reversal. I'm actually setting up some alerts here on my ADR. I'm sorry, on CCI, on these crosses on the 45 minutes. When this crossed over here, probably could have gotten in because you see it reversed here. It went 2 down, it reversed. You actually could have gotten in off this reversal on this 45-minute when it crossed back above -100. And now you see it crossing below 100 on this 90-minute flip. Here was your 90-minute open. Well, yeah. Why don't I have that? I don't know. It's not showing on this. Let me just show you. This was your opening 90. So on this flip, guys, it turned that 90 green. So remember, the 90 is still forming. It went 2 down. It turns it green here, goes 2 up on that 90. So opportunity there, and you had your reversal here, 2 up, 2 down on that 90-minute flip. And we could have made a couple dollars here. It went outside. This becomes a broadening formation again in and of itself. It goes 3-2. Caution, if you're using, again, managing your risk, this is the low of that 45. You know you want to short here. So you're probably in this trade here on this 9-minute outside bar because you're taking it short here off of this 45. But we're going to hold this guy. We're going to make sure it doesn't come back and take our opening 45. All right, because this is this outside bar. It goes 3 down. So it goes outside, goes 2 down here on the 45. Hope you're following me here. We're using our 45 as a signal, guys. So it goes 2 down here on this 45 right here. this one of these candles was a low, 173.34, 33. So this was that low. So we're going to take this, but price action actually traded up first. We're going to take it down. You have an outside bar, but this is the opening range of that 45. This is where you entered your trade. You're going to put your stop right here at that open. If it trades back above that open on that 45, once it goes 2 down, it's got to stay 2 down. Else, there's a potential for a reversal, creating an outside bar. So this actually created an outside bar to the downside, took our signal, our entry right here at the low of that 45 and stayed down. All right. So if this had gone 3, 2 down, 2 back up, would have had to exit this trade, but it did not. It went 3, 2 down, 2 down. It stayed down. You had another TTO here, another opportunity to enter this trade off of the next 45-minute flip, which was at 115. You see that? So you had a signal here, 2 up, 2 down, 2 down, 2 down, continuation, signal on the 9. So if you're looking at continuation patterns, you have to go to a shorter time frame for your entries. Got it? All right, so we got signal here, 2 down, 2 up on that 45, 2 up, 2 down, reversal. Continuation patterns, look for your signals on the shorter time frames. Once you get your entry, if you missed your entry and you're looking to get in, you have to go to a shorter time frame to get into that trade. All right, so don't just blindly enter, wait for that TTO, and you had a nice one here on NVIDIA to get back into that, or to get into that trade on that next 45-minute flip at 115. Okay, let's look at Tesla again. We had Tesla going to the downside yesterday, but Tesla split, right? So we talked about this. We had a 3-for-1 split going into yesterday. Price traded down. It is now gapping up. Careful, guys. I would not be trading this long. I mean, I wouldn't hold. So trade, but wouldn't hold. I would be looking at probably just a day trade on these guys, because oftentimes, and we see this a lot, where price will split, a stock will split, price may trade up only to trade back down and go lower. So, but you know, they have a cult following like Apple does. So just play it by ear. When I say play it by ear, use your broadening formations, guys. Use your broadening formations. Rob probably would have screamed at me if I said play it by ear. Use your broadening formation, guys. Draw that out and let's look for potential targets, because we are not clear on where price action will go on this trade. So what I did here, I just drew a couple lines here on that 3-day, because the day is your new 2 and 3-day flip. If price trades above this 2 down bar on the 3-day, my first target on this, guys, will be about 309. All right. So the high here is 309.66. It's got to take this inside bar. All right. So if you're looking at this on a daily, that's this guy right here. That's this 2 down candle. So it looks like it wants to trade higher. It's got to take this broadening formation, this lower broadening formation. So if it trades above 309, right, trades above this range around 309, then the next target will be about 316, right in this range here, guys. Okay, so that's how I would trade. That's how I would trade Tesla today, but I will not be swinging this. Just I'd use a little caution here, okay? Use a little caution. So if it stays above yesterday's high, my first target would be about 309, trades above that, then let's see if it gets to about 315, 316. Yeah. And see if she goes. All right. So we're going to wrap it there. We'll continue to use our average daily range, right? Not our gut feeling. We're going to use our ADR. Let's see if it, when this forms, guys, let's see if this guy triggers just redrawing these a little bit. Let's do it on a 3-day. So we'll be looking to see if it hits that lower high ADR in reverse on, and if so, then we will look for a reversal, but we're going to use some caution on this trade. 309 above this range, above yesterday's high. 309 is our target. Above 309, look for, again, 316, using our average daily range. If it gets trapped like it did yesterday after that 45-minute flip. Now, keep in mind, you can certainly look for your entries off the shorter time frame. We're talking reversals here, guys, off of the ADR. If you're trading mid-morning, afternoon, we're looking at reversal signals using the 45. But just be careful that you don't get trapped. We do not want to trade inside 45s, inside 60s, because essentially this is inside 60, right? You looked at this. This is inside 60, 1230 flip, right? So we don't want to get trapped inside 60. So if after that 60 minutes, guys, this thing goes inside, starts to trend down, this is over. You probably want to wait for that 1130 or 1230 flip, okay, for an opportunity. All right, I'm going to wrap it there with Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to advantage, but everyone who is hasty comes surely to poverty. Hasty speculation is another translation of that. Hasty speculation will put you in the poorhouse, guys. I don't know of another way to say it. Just be patient. Wait for those setups. Look for those signals inside bar. If you want to trade off of a 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, whatever time frame you want in that first 60 minutes, have at it. But be careful that you don't get the huge swings. That's the only thing when you're trading on those shorter time frames. You're looking for that TTO for that entry, and you really didn't get it till right at the top of the hour, and then it went inside. Actually, it went 2 up and then inside on the 30. So just want to be careful with that, okay? All right. I appreciate you guys following. Thanks so much. Take good care, everybody.